Imagine Wall Street, 1920. It's lunchtime, bustling, loads of people, brokers, clerks spilling out onto the street. Then boom, just chaos. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the 1920 Wall Street bombing. A really devastating attack still unsolved that just completely shattered America's sense of security back then.
Yeah. And our mission really is to unpack what led up to it, the immediate aftermath, and maybe how this one single event profoundly changed how America viewed radicalism, national security, and, how it ultimately helped shape modern intelligence gathering.
Okay, so let's paint the picture. Thursday, September 16th, 1920, 1 minute past noon, 12:01 p.m.
Right on the corner, Wall and Broad, opposite J.P. Morgan Co. headquarters.
And this horse-drawn wagon pulls up, looks totally ordinary, battered even. The driver just melts into the crowd, vanishes.
And moments later, this thing detonates. Horrifying stuff. 100 pounds of high-grade dynamite.
100 pounds?
Yeah, packed with, get this, 500 pounds of cast iron sash weight.
Yeah, sash weight.
To act as shrapnel, this wasn't about blowing up buildings, not primarily. It was purely anti-personnel. Brutal. Designed to make the air itself lethal.
God. What did witnesses say?
They described like a mushroom-shaped cloud, yellowish-green smoke. Debris apparently flew as high as the 34th floor of nearby buildings. Just incredible force.
And the scene on the ground?
A battlefield. That's the word used again and again. Blood spattered everywhere. Glass, bodies, just horrific injuries.
And the victims, crucially, weren't the big Wall Street tycoons.
No, not really. Mostly ordinary working people. Stenographers, clerks, messengers, junior brokers, people caught out during their lunch break.
Just awful. What was the final count?
Grim. 38 killed outright or died soon after. Another 143 seriously injured. And think about this, until the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, this was the deadliest terrorist attack on U.S. soil for 75 years.
Wow. And you said the point was terror, psychological impact.
Exactly. Maximum casualties right in the symbolic heart of American finance.
So this didn't just happen out of nowhere. What was going on in America at the time? The context must be key.
Oh, absolutely. America after World War I. It was booming, yes, but also deeply, deeply divided. Some call it a cultural civil war.
How so?
You had this clash, right? Between urban modernity, think flappers, jazz, consumerism, and more traditional rural values. Prohibition was in effect. Lots of anti-immigrant feeling, nativism.
Then this division fueled anti-capitalist feelings too.
Definitely. Wealth was very concentrated, lots of resentment. Plus, you have the backdrop of the First Red Scare.
Yes. Triggered by the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia in 1917.
Right. Widespread fear of communism, anarchism, big labor strikes in Seattle, Boston. They fed into this panic. And this fear got tangled up with anti-immigrant hysteria, especially targeting Italians.
Which led to things like the Palmer raids.
Exactly. Attorney General Palmer rounding up suspected radicals, mass arrests, deportations, a real atmosphere of repression.
So in that climate, investigators must have had suspects in mind pretty quickly for Wall Street.
They did. The focus landed squarely on the Gallianisti.
Italian anarchists.
Yes, followers of Luigi Galliani. He preached propaganda of the deed, basically using violence to spark revolution, attack the state, avenge enemies. He even published a bomb-making manual.
And they had a track record.
Oh, yeah. There were coordinated bombings in 1919 targeting officials, judges, even Palmer himself. And crucially, their signature was using heavy metal shrapnel, like sash weights. Just like Wall Street.
Okay, the connection seems strong. Was there a specific trigger theorized for the Wall Street attack?
The leading theory, and it makes a lot of sense timing-wise, is that it was revenge. Revenge for the indictment of Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti.
Ah, the famous Sacco and Vanzetti case.
Right. Fellow anarchists arrested on controversial robbery and murder charges. Their indictment happened just 5 days before the Wall Street bombing. It became a massive international cause celeb.
It seems like they had a good idea who did it. But you said it's unsolved?
Well, this is almost unbelievable. The authorities, mainly the stock exchange wanting to project confidence, decided to clean the entire crime scene overnight.
What? They washed away the evidence?
Pretty much. Hoses, brooms, any vital physical clues, bomb fragments, potentially evidence pointing to the wagon maker, the horse, gone. All to reopen the stock exchange the next day.
That's staggering.
Yes.
Sabotaged their own investigation.
In effect, yes. For the sake of, keeping the markets open.
So who was actually leading the investigation then?
This is where a young, ambitious J. Edgar Hoover comes in. He headed the Justice Department's General Intelligence Division, the GID.
The precursor to the FBI.
Essentially, yes. And this bombing gave Hoover the justification he needed to massively expand surveillance on radicals, build files, create this huge domestic intelligence apparatus. It really launched his career and shifted policing towards, well, a national security focus.
Did they find anything useful, despite the cleanup?
One key clue did survive. Warning flyers found in a nearby mailbox just before the blast, signed American Anarchist Fighters, clearly linking it back to the Galleonists.
Okay, so the flyer points fingers. Is there a prime suspect?
There is a man named Mario Buda. He was a known Galleonist, an associate of Sacco and Vanzetti, and crucially, a skilled bomb maker known for using...
Those weights.
Exactly. He had the motive revenge for Sacco and Vanzetti. He had the means and expertise and the opportunity. He fled to Italy right after the bombing and never returned.
And was he ever charged?
No. There wasn't enough concrete proof to extradite or charge him, though years later his nephew apparently confirmed Buda told him he was the bomber. But officially, still unsolved.
So how did the nation react overall, this huge attack and unsolved case?
It was really two-sided. On one hand, remarkable resilience. The stock exchange did reopen, people sang patriotic songs in the street, defiance.
But on the other hand,
a wave of xenophobia and hysteria, more calls to crack down on immigrants, deport radicals, fear took hold too.
It sounds like a tactical failure for the anarchists then. No revolution happened.
Not at all. If anything, the public rallied around the system, around capitalism. But, you could argue it was a strategic victory for the state.
How so?
It provided the perfect justification to expand federal police power, surveillance. It really solidified Hoover's path. And the attack itself, a large vehicle bomb, mass casualties, symbolic target. It really feels like a forerunner to modern terrorism, like Oklahoma City.
Yet, as you said, it's often overlooked today. Little known and little marked. Why do you think that is?
Probably a few reasons. No big dramatic trial like Sacco and Vanzetti's later. It got overshadowed by the Roaring Twenties, the Depression, World War II, and maybe because the victims were, well, ordinary people, not famous figures.
The only real reminder is the building itself.
Yeah, the facade of the J.P. Morgan building. They never repaired the pockmarks left by the shrapnel. They're still there today, like the lone monument to the event.
Quite a story. It really drives home how long these issues have been with us.
It really does. The Wall Street bombing forces us to remember that terrorism, political violence, nativism, that constant push and pull between security and liberty, and none of this is new. These are deep currents in American history.
So for you listening, what really stands out about how a country, how people respond to an attack like this? And how do those responses, those lessons maybe echo even now?